Singing in schools, after suffering a period of relative decline, is finally back on the agenda, with a vengeance. My name is Howard Goodall. I'm a composer and a broadcaster, but some of you may also have read about my being appointed by the government to head up a new initiative to get many more young people singing in schools again. Not just for a hand-picked few 20 minutes a week, but for all the children and their staff. The government wants to encourage singing to become a normal and integrated part of the school culture. Schools where singing thrives are happy schools. Scientific studies from all over the world have shown that singing accelerates learning by improving the child's memory skills. It's a fun way to learn languages or numeracy. It builds a sense of teamwork, and it's a great opportunity to bring together children from very different backgrounds into one sociable and enjoyable activity. At the heart of our national singing programme lies the idea that ordinary, non-specialist teachers can lead a singing session successfully with a little bit of training and confidence boosting from expert help. There are various ways this help can be delivered, from local authority music services to community music programmes, from choir school and opera company outreach schemes to national training initiatives. One of the leading organisations in this field is the Voices Foundation, whose top-of-the-range service can transform the fortunes of a school through singing. We're going to take a look at what they can achieve in an ordinary primary school in a relatively short space of time.
This is Morley Memorial Primary School in Cambridge. It has a roll call of 405 children and once had a strong tradition of music that head teacher Jenny Collier is hoping to revive.
Morley is a very diverse school. It's a large primary school on the southern fringes of Cambridge City. We have a very wide range of children from different backgrounds, different socio-economic backgrounds, different cultural backgrounds. Not huge numbers, but probably an average sort of number of children with special needs, some of whom have got quite challenging special needs. We've got quite a high proportion of children who are very able. So it's varied in all kinds of different ways.
With a wide diversity of pupils, an academic record close to the national average, and a head teacher keen to expand its musical commitment, Morley seemed the perfect place for us to put an alternative teaching method to the test. We asked Suzi Digby from the Voices Foundation to take its singing programme to Morley for a 10-week trial. She claims it can boost self-confidence, enhance mental alertness and improve social cohesion. Her challenge will be to adapt a year-long programme to work in just 10 weeks. In the staff room, Suzi's arrival is anxiously anticipated. Only a few of the teachers have had any music training. Most dread performing publicly, and less than 50% can read music.
There's quite a lot of apprehension amongst a lot of the staff.
My personal thoughts were, oh my God, I can't sing for toffee.
I'm not 100% sure of exactly what's going to happen, but I've been told that, you know, some people are going to come in, do some training with us, and the training's aimed at non-music specialists to sort of help them deliver music, the music curriculum and singing to the children.
If it's something that we can do in class, then I can really see people probably doing more of it, whereas if it's just something that's like quite complicated and takes quite a lot of resources and effort to create or to carry out, then I don't think people will carry it on as much.
It's D-Day, and Suzi is meeting the teachers for the first time. She's been running this programme for nearly 14 years, and this introductory day is always the most challenging.
Hello everyone, I'm Susan Digby and I'm Principal and Founder of the Voices Foundation, which is a national charity which I set up 14 years ago to bring music through the medium of singing to every child in the country via class teachers, essentially, giving skills and confidence and resources to class teachers to teach music as they teach every other subject. The main aim of the first session is to put all the teachers in the school in the same learning situation that we'd be putting the children in. We've got to give them very immediately some sense that they can embark on this with confidence and with some skills. We'll start off with a song involving body parts. So would you like to, responding quickly, touch the part of the body that I refer to? Okay, chest, knees, head, chest, knees, shins, toes. Okay, I'm going to sing a song. Dodge your knees, sit this one out. And please just touch the body parts, so follow my actions. Off I go.
Every single song in the Voices repertoire is there for a reason and does a very specific job, illustrating an element of music and helping teachers to explain and teach it.
Now we're going to sing the whole song, but we're going to put head into our thinking voice. So we're not going to sing it out loud, we're just going to sing it in our thinking voice. Off we
Chest,
go.
chest, knees, toes is designed to help children recognise a change in pitch, training them to hear the notes in their head, rather than having to have it played or sung to them out loud.
Off we go. Knees, toes. Knees, toes. Knees, shins, toes.
Over the next 40 minutes, Suzi takes the teachers through the basics of the course. This includes encouraging children to feel and understand the pulse of a song, developing an awareness of phrasing in music, and putting the initial building blocks in place that should make the transition from singing to reading and writing music simple.
This is a very interesting phase in the programme because I know through my years of experience that all these teachers are going to gain enormously from over the next 10 weeks. Each and every one of them is going to have something incredibly valuable about themselves that they develop over the course of this programme, which will benefit the children and themselves enormously.
Well, as the first session, I thought it went pretty well.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was good fun, wasn't it?
It was good. It was good. I think I'd like to see more stuff for Key Stage 2 because I think my Year 4s probably won't enjoy those games as much as possibly a Key Stage 1 class would.
I was expecting it to be interactive, but I wasn't expecting it to be so interactive. You know, from start to finish, you got in, you were singing.
I think just through that first session I understand some of the music structure better than I did before and some of the theory behind it.
The reservations that I have are definitely over singing in front of the class. I found it really difficult to sing in front of people. It was a very comfortable atmosphere because we're with all colleagues and that, but it was still uncomfortable. It wasn't something I was happy with doing, and I'm quite a confident teacher apart from when it comes to singing. So I still think I'm going to have concerns over doing it in front of the class.
It's the morning after the teacher training session, but it's time to get to grips with the basics of the course. Reception teacher Rachel Elliott already has a head start.
I did a music degree before I trained to be a teacher, and so I've played in various orchestras and bands and choirs and things, but I've had very little training in teaching music to children, so it'll be interesting to see what we learn from this course. The course materials include a book and a CD. It looks quite accessible. It's got the music notes inside if you can read music, and then the CD backs you up if you're not sure about reading music, so it looks quite useful. All the songs are at a very simple level, which is very good for young children, and it's perhaps good for teachers who maybe haven't got much experience in using musical notation. Whether that works well for the older children or not, I don't know. Okay, we're going to do some special singing today. We're going to sing some songs we've never sung before. And first of all, we're going to do a song about saying hello to each other. Okay? And we're going to pass around, Ethan, Percy the pig, and then you'll know it's your turn to sing. Okay, it's very simple. We're going to sing, hello, how are you? And the other person is going to sing, very well, thank you. Okay.
It's vital in these early stages that we use lots and lots of call and response songs, which enables the individual child to make a sound and have that very same sound come back from the class at him.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Now, if you think about it, if you go to a piano and play a note and say, sing that note, most children in our culture won't be able to do that. But if they are initiating the sound and having it back at them, that's reinforcing something very positively. And hello, how are you is a wonderful little way with two little pitches in a very accessible pitch relationship for them to experience that.
The children are soon in full flow, and the games that are associated with the songs are proving to be a real hit.
Chest, knees, toes,
Head, chest, knees, shins, toes. Ready, Tom? You're going to be the singer. Okay, everybody ready? Ready for Tom to start. You're going to sing. Chest, knees, toes. That was the very first session. Some things surprised me about it. Some children that I expected would be very confident singing on their own didn't at all, and some other children surprised me and were quite confident doing that by themselves. The child who I thought would struggle with concentration didn't. He managed very well, but other children did struggle with concentration, which may be because it's the middle of the afternoon on a warm day. But I think they enjoyed it.
I'm going to start off with "Here I come," and you're going to sing back to me, "Where from?"
Over the next couple of weeks, the teachers begin to work the singing sessions into the school day.
Very nice. We'll try that again. That was lovely. Now I'd like everybody to be sitting up. If you sit up, you'll be able to sing with you. Okay? Right. Here I come.
Where from?
London.
What's your train?
Lemonade. Very good. Now I would like you to really listen to the notes which I'm singing and see if you can repeat those same notes back in identically the same pitch as I'm singing. Okay?
At this early stage, the Voices Foundation recommends that sessions take place little and often, with 5 minutes a day being preferable to a 20-minute session once a week. Head teacher Jenny Collier has already started to see the signs of change.
One of the main things I wanted from the programme was for the school to end up with a shared repertoire of songs. And even at this early stage, it's obvious that that is beginning to happen. As you walk around the playground, you can hear children singing, children from different year groups, singing the same sort of songs. And it's really good in terms of their social networking and bonding and developing the school as a community.
And it's not just the children who are learning either. At the start of the programme, reception teacher Jane Serrerier was one of the most reluctant to perform publicly.
Pick up all the books.
We've only been going a couple of weeks so far, and my own confidence has risen enormously.
Now, this is your feet as well.
The songs are simple, easy to manage, and the children carry you along. So it's been a very good couple of weeks, and I feel we're getting there.
Three weeks in, and the honeymoon period is over. Staff have been struggling to fit singing sessions into the school day. And with Suzi due back in to monitor their progress, teachers like Rachel feel they're beginning to fall behind.
Before Suzi came, we planned to try and do 5 to 10 minute sessions of singing every day. The reality is that sometimes that just can't happen for all kinds of reasons. But we fit bits and pieces in whenever we can.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Realistically, I'm not at all prepared for their coming in. We've done about 1 or 2 sessions of singing with the children, so personally I don't feel at all prepared.
Take a step out, please, Asha. Daniel.
There are so many things that you have to fit into the school day. you cannot do everything, so I'm not going to beat myself over the head about it, but, you know, we'll see how it goes.
It's the moment of truth for the staff. Suzi arrives for her first series of sessions working with individual teachers and their classes.
When I come into a school at this very early stage, I would hope that the teachers would have at least had a go at one or two of the songs. That's all I can expect at this stage. And so when I come in with the children, I can then take the teacher on to the next stage.
Where would you like them, Suzi? In a circle. Right, Thomas, try your best.
The first thing I do is to watch what the teacher's done with the children. And this really is to put her in a situation where she knows that I'm expecting her to be doing the teaching in the future. So really, in a way, in the very first session, it doesn't matter what they've done, as long as I can see that they've actually put their toe in the water and have taken on the concept that it's them that's going to be teaching the music.
Okay, we've had a practice. I told the children that the teachers have been learning a bit about singing, and we've been trying to teach them a few songs. Okay, so shall we show Suzi how we warmed up our voices? We're going to take our singing seats. Remember we talked about letting all the air into our lungs. And we're going to say hello to everybody. We're going to go around the circle. We're probably going to start with you, Gregory. Let's just practice as a whole group just to remember what we say.
I know.
If you know, respond, okay? I'll go first. Hello, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
You did a fantastic job of remembering that. Now we're going to go round the circle.
Tessa McCabe, a Year 1 teacher, is one of the first to experience the Suzi treatment.
I was quite excited about it, really. I know a lot of people were a bit dubious about it and weren't too keen, but I don't know, I thought it could only, you know, it could be fun, you know, it sounded like a good idea. Because the children have always loved it, but it's just something that we have less and less time for, so I was quite excited about doing it.
One thing I'd say, they're coming brilliantly and they're all finding their voices, is to pitch a little higher.
Yeah.
So I was trying so that their angel voice would come.
Yeah.
And singing seats.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if you, instead of saying 1, 2, 3, go, if
Yeah.
you sing off we, that sets
Yeah.
the pitch and it sets the tempo.
With Tessa's 40-minute session over, it's the moment that assistant head Kerry Darby has been dreading for some time. She admits to being terrified of singing out loud, and to make matters worse, there's a TV camera in the room.
1, 2, 3.
Once a man fell in a well, splish, splash, splosh, he sounded. If he had not fallen in, he would not have drowned it.
Despite her nerves, Kerry takes a risk and teams up with colleague Jo McCritchie and her class to try something more complicated, getting the children to sing a song in 2 parts.
2, 3.
Once a man fell in a well, splish, splash, splosh, he sounded. If he had not fallen in, he would not have drowned it.
That's fantastic. Really good. I'm very, very impressed. Okay, I want to take the 2 songs you've done.
Kerry's gamble pays off, and Suzi now steps in. She demonstrates how to push the classes on even further, introducing the idea of visualising notes in height order, a concept they'll need to understand when they start to read music.
So instead of once a man fell in a well, we're going to sing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5. And with your hand, I'd like you to take your hand and step those 5 steps, starting from your tummy and going up to your head. So it goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5. Stop. Okay, so we'll do the whole song and see if you can work out the numbers all the way through. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1.
Got it.
During this session, Suzi introduces a whole series of new games and ways to think about music, including a human keyboard made up of just voices.
Good. After the first one, they were already itching to sing it back to me.
Some songs are easier to grasp than others, but with that one it's the words, the pitches are quite... But what I wanted to do is unpick it a bit and get the pitch structure into there.
That's great.
Thank you very much. Give them a clap.
It was better than I thought it would be, actually. Very nerve-wracking. Hate singing in front of children, hate singing in front of cameras, and definitely hate singing in front of a professional. But I was amazed at how much the children had actually remembered, because I only did about 20 minutes on it originally, so that 20 minutes was a lot. A lot, actually. They did remembered an awful lot, which really, really surprised me. And I think that the things that Suzi have given us are tips, because the way she broke it down and really getting into the musical, and I thought the idea with the numbers, they're going up and then they're going down, to actually get the fact that 3 phrases go up and 3 phrases go down, very visual, and it stuck with the children. I was surprised actually by the children that actually did engage with it.
Okay, we're going to go down to the community room for singing. Okay, quietly walking through the school just like you always do. Off you go, Deanne.
One of the last teachers to have his session on this first day with Suzi is Year 6 teacher Carl Brown. A combination of SATs, the arrival of a new baby, and Carl breaking his arm has meant he's done no preparation work for today whatsoever. He's also one of the non-musicians on the staff.
I am possibly the most unconfident musician and singer I know. I can sing. I wouldn't say I'm a very good singer. There's a wonderful bit in Stephen Fry's autobiography where he talks about he's not tone deaf, he's tone dumb. He can't hit the right note, and I'm very much like that. I know what sounds good and I know it ain't me. I'm looking forward to the challenge of doing music. I don't normally do it. I'm not confident. I don't play an instrument. I'm looking forward to being able to do something like that for a change.
What I've done is I've outlined here everything I'm hoping to cover for you with pretty clear instructions, and then we're going to tape it as well. So
when Suzi discovers that Carl hasn't managed to practice, she decides to take the entire class for him.
I'm going to give a little exercise so that you can find your singing voice. I'm going to say, have you brought your talking voice? You're going to say, yes, we have. Yes, we have. But you have to follow the intonation of my voice. So match my sound. Have you brought your talking voice?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Have you brought your whispering voice? Yes, we have. Yes, we have. Have you brought your shouting voice?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Have you brought your singing voice?
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
With 3 weeks of the 10-week challenge already gone, Suzi knows that this class has a lot of work to do to catch up. She wastes no time taking Carl and the children through the basics.
Do everything I do, but wait till I've stopped, and then follow straight away.
Suzi will be a hard act for Carl to follow. By the end of the 40-minute session, she's already introduced the class to a basic form of notation.
Ta, ta, te, te, ta. Off you go. The rhythm language we use early on, which involves ta, te, te, ta, and rest, looks very simple. It's very simple to notate because it has no note heads that you have to scribble in, but it's strongly reminiscent of traditional notation, which we come to later. And so there's a very, very clear and logical link through to Western notation.
I felt unprepared, but it didn't matter because I knew that she was leading it, so I didn't have to do anything, whereas next time I know I'll have to do something, so I'll need to be prepared. And what she was doing there seemed to be a lot more useful than what I'd heard they'd done in the past. So yeah, it was good.
A week later, and Suzi is back again for more individual sessions.
What's your trade?
really intensifying things for the teachers, and I'm trying to now really focus in on the structure of their teaching and the pacing of their teaching.
I want you to follow me without singing first of all. I'm going to sing. I just want you to point to the body part that I'm singing about, okay?
Shall I show you a little trick? Yes. So that when it's your turn, it's really your turn and not their turn. Okay, right, we're going to sing. And did your teacher ask you to sing, or did your teacher ask you to just touch the body parts?
Touch the body.
Okay, let's see if you can keep your voice inside your thinking head. Okay, off I go, chest, chest, knees, toe. Was somebody taking my turn? It's my turn, I'll start again. Off I go. In terms of the children, I'm really keen to identify the children who haven't yet found their singing voice and find games and activities that the teachers can use to break that through. Rat-a-tat-tat.
Rat-a-tat-tat. Who is that? Catherine in a funny hat.
Some of the teachers may still think that it's just a case of bringing their class in and singing through a few songs, but what I'm doing is really tightening up with those teachers and making them realise that they have to work a lot harder than that. Think of ways in which we can improve the quality of singing and get them to appraise their own quality of singing. Concentrate on individual singing a lot, call and response, lots and lots of individual singing, especially for the more reticent ones.
Yes.
And 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you go around the front instead of around the back this time? Off you go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. If anyone laughs, just stop that. So it's just a rule that nobody laughs.
Yeah.
So that it's safe. So that if anyone wants to sing individually, they know it's safe.
Yeah.
They're not going to be laughed at. I'm really now guiding them quite specifically to giving me a lesson plan for next time, making sure that the activities they've chosen very, very carefully to demonstrate to me that they have an understanding of why we're doing this and why we're singing the songs and what's in it for the kids. Both the group in terms of curriculum learning and the individual in terms of their own personal development.
Okay, let's just do the first three first. The first one we know that was not that night, but the night before, step back, stay with, step back. The other one was 24 robbers at my door. The third one was open up the door and let them in.
Halfway through the 10-week trial period, and opinions about the Voices Foundation are varied.
There are a couple of children in my class who've been particularly affected in a good way. They're children who tend to be quite shy, and they tend to be quite reluctant to put themselves forward to do something in front of a big group, a large group of children. And they seem to have grown in confidence. They certainly are smiling a lot more and they're really enjoying the sessions.
For me, one of the most useful things was Suzi talking about angel voices, which really was about the pitch. Which for me was important because I'm quite low. But I love the way the children responded to that idea of actually becoming a singing voice. And that's what we've taken on from there.
So while some of the teachers are seeing the benefits very quickly, others still have reservations.
I think, to be honest, when the programme first started, I did honestly think, here's another scheme, here's another sort of flash in the pan, let's put a plaster over the whole situation and try and find a quick fix way of doing something that we know we should be doing but don't have time for. And I still think that there isn't that much time in the school day, unfortunately, to fit in a lot of these brilliant ideas and these brilliant schemes. Though I will say for this thing, I did use the book and I did try to use the CD, and it's worked. The kids really enjoyed a song I did with them. Now, I don't think I did it 100% the way Suzi might have done. I did use some of the tactics that she used, and the children really enjoyed it. So it does show that the children really enjoy singing, but that's kind of something we probably already knew anyways. It's just whether that we can fit that into our bazillion of other things we have to do with them.
justify the two with the teachers here. Do you think you might spend some time with the teachers doing that?
Yeah, I think so. It's not something that we've addressed yet, actually.
Yes.
At the end of every Voices programme, there is always a singing day. Suzi believes it forces the teachers to focus on their development. She's in school today to discuss plans with Year 6 teacher and school music coordinator Abby Thorpe.
And they're doing it regularly.
Okay, so one of the big things we've got to address today is the singing day, which everyone's going to be absolutely terrified about. But in fact, it's a very, very important and valuable form of inset for the teachers. So basically, in singing day, every teacher is going to be demonstrating a little bit of the skills that they have acquired and the class have acquired in a sort of curriculum context. So, and the whole of the school is going to be watching. Singing day is a really big deal for all the teachers. It normally takes place after a year, but here we've got it after 10 weeks. So the teacher's going to be very nervous. The children will love it and the whole school will benefit from it enormously. But the teachers will be extra specially worried, particularly if they haven't been doing this regularly up till now. The key thing is your choice of songs and why you've chosen those songs.
Suzi wastes no time moving on to the final phase of the 10-week programme at the next inset day.
I would suggest each class has about 7 minutes. So I would say about 3 songs. And if you could cover in those, then you may choose to demonstrate the children's ability to control pulse, to control rhythm, to differentiate between pulse and rhythm, working in groups, a lot of individual singing, call and response games. Individual singing is an incredibly good way to get children matching pitch. As we're having the singing day after just 10 weeks, we're having to really speed up the learning process for the teachers. So now we have the pitch language, we have the rhythm language, which is the ta, te, te, ta, rest. And now we're showing how that very logically moves on to the 5-line stave. Off you go, ti, 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 ta.
With the singing day just 2 weeks away, Suzi keeps up the pressure. And she has one more session with each teacher before the big day.
It's quite a delicate balance now because I'm now watching what the teachers have achieved and I've got to go in there and really raise expectations. And we'll do the canon while they do the ostinati. We'll just find something more interesting for him to do because he's obviously a skilled percussion player.
Having something like singing day is sort of a bit of pressure, but it's good because it means that we have to practice and we know we've got something to work towards, and I think the children quite like knowing that the songs that we're practicing are fun, but they're also for a purpose as well.
Who could I have to come and mark the pulse gently on this drum so that we can hear the lovely singing as well?
Okay, if I give you the drum and the beater, Finn's going to go around. Wherever he stops, that person's going to be the witch next.
Do you know what? They're so enthusiastic about it. You even had one of the kids name their budgie Suzi after singing Suzi.
And even Carl has been making headway.
I had a real enlightening moment last week with the course in that I actually took the folders home and read through them and worked out exactly how they worked, which is not something that's ever been done with me. I don't know if it's because I missed the early bit, that I just didn't understand where we were going with things. And what I found we were doing was we were trying to find a song and then fitting the musical elements to that song. And quite often the song didn't fit the musical elements we were trying to teach. As soon as you realise to do it the other way, then it all fits beautifully into place.
Now, I have no doubt in my mind that what I will be demonstrating with them, they can do. That is why I'm doing it. I don't want to demonstrate anything which I think is beyond their grasp. But that can't happen unless they're going straight back into the classroom and practicing what we've just practiced.
But Suzi's new sense of urgency hasn't been a hit with all the teaching staff. Some are finding her a little overwhelming.
The thing is, they don't know when to put the stick down. So what the best way to do is a few practices, lift, place. They're not going to do it this way. So, okay, we need to know when to put the stick down.
I'm very aware when I'm teaching of if I make any mistakes. and to have somebody watching you when you know that you're making those mistakes is really tricky.
I just needed to kind of bump them up into a different zone.
It's very SEN.
Yes, okay, but a lot of it is attitude. Because he was all slouched over and, you know, messing around to start with, and as soon as I got into that zone, right guys.
I do feel a bit deflated after that session, and I'm not really looking forward to the singing day at the moment. But we'll continue to practice each day, and hopefully we'll continue to improve.
Busy, I think, is the way to describe it. But I think everybody's under control, the teachers have got their programmes, the hall's all set, so it's all systems go.
It's the end of the 10-week trial. Singing Day, in front of parents, governors and half the school, is finally here. But how do the staff feel now it's all almost over?
It's been a real sort of roller coaster 10 weeks.
After a while, I wasn't quite sure where it was heading and what we were supposed to be doing. But I've now seen the children singing to each other regularly without any prompt from adults. I've seen them growing confidence in their singing. Some of them have found really lovely singing voices for the first time. I've never heard them sing like that before.
My confidence has grown enormously. For a start, I don't avoid music anymore. I actually do music.
This is a very special day because you've all been working really hard with your classes to learn some songs and learn all sorts of things about music. And today you're going to show everyone what you've been learning. So, ready to sing, and we're going to start off with Gold Class.
We focused on music several times in the past, and it's never really been sustainable. And teachers have gone on teaching children to sing songs, but I don't think they've taught children music. The thing that was really quite striking about this programme was the way children absorbed musical concepts in a way that I haven't noticed they've done with any other music inset that we've done in the past.
Try moving our hands up and down to that. Are you ready? Off we go. Seesaw, up and down, in the sky and on the ground. Lovely. And are you ready to mark the pitch?
There are 14 classes at Morley, and during the day, each one comes forward to perform.
There were people who, if you'd said to them 6 months ago you were going to stand up and sing with your class, would have said, not me, I'm going to leave first. And they did it, and they were really good.
It's made me feel a lot more confident about teaching singing. It's made me realise that I can do it, that I'm not completely tone deaf, that I'm not completely tone dumb, that I can hold a note, even if my year sixes end up singing very low.
So, despite the almost inevitable ups and downs over the 10-week trial, both the Singing Day and the Voices programme are a success. And at the end of the project, some good news. The school and the Voices Foundation are match funding the cost of a full year's singing course. And head teacher Jenny is very optimistic about what that means.
One of the claims made right at the beginning was about the way that it would increase the social cohesion and the self-esteem of children. And I was very sceptical about that, particularly in whether we could do it in 10 weeks. But teachers have already reported to me that some children have really blossomed and have come out of themselves after following this programme. And I think that is quite startling. And also one of the parents after the singing day came up and said, I can't believe my daughter sang in front of all those people by herself. So if you can do that after 10 weeks, it'll be interesting to see what happens after a year.